Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effie and today I have put all the makeup products in my Project Pan project on my face. And this is the final look. In case you missed the first video of the year that I put out, I am starting a Project Pan this year. In that video I introduce all the products that I will be panning for the next 3 months and explain the Project Pan that I'll be following and tell you their starting weights and things like that. In this video I'm just putting the products on my face, just the makeup products. In my Project Pan I do have skincare, hair care and body care. This is just for the makeup and I'll be letting you know why each product is in my Project Pan because I feel like that's important information. But like I said, this is the final look. Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. Let me know if you're doing any Project Panning this year and let me know what products you're choosing. But other than that, I will let you watch the video. If you like it, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's free and puts a giant smile on my face. But I'll shut up now and let you enjoy the video. Okay, so we're going to start with primer, and I decided to put in the I Heart Revolution Strawberry Whip Pore Blowing Primer with vitamin C and E. This isn't my favourite primer that I own. It's just, it does its job, I will admit, but I don't know, it's just not my favourite. If you don't give it a really good mix up, it can come out a bit more oily and liquidy, which I don't particularly like. I don't know, it's just not my favourite, and I'd rather use it up and get it out of my collection, really. It's not a bad primer, it's just not my best primer either. For foundation, I picked the Revlon Colourstay for combination and oily skin in the shade 150 Buff. This is probably one of the oldest foundations I have in my collection, and that really is the only reason I'm trying to use it up. It's a really good foundation, I've enjoyed it. It's just too old at this point, it needs to be finished up, and I don't know how well you can see, but it only comes up to about here in the bottle. These are all like empty bits at the top. So I reckon I can get it used up relatively quickly if I just reach for it. There we go. I do think it's a good foundation. It's got a nice finish to it. It sits well. It actually lasts quite well on my skin as well. Just for reference, I have normal to combination skin, which is pretty much what it's designed for. I do like the colour, I think it matches me quite well. This is a good foundation, it served me very well for many years. The concealer, I have the Revolution Conceal and Define. I have one of the super size in C2 and one of the super size in C1. And then I have a regular size in C1. C1 I use for highlighting my under eyes and centre of my face. C2 is kind of my shade, my skin shade, so I use that for covering up spots or anything like that, which I always have a few lurking. I don't know why I have 3 of them, but they're all open and they've all been like used a fair amount, so again it's just a situation of I want to get it finished up. I do really like this concealer. I will say I think the Conceal and Hydrate is my current favourite of the Revolution concealers, but this one still works really well. Another good product. I have nothing against any of the products in this, I just want to get them used up so that they get the proper usage that they deserve. Powder, another Revolution product. I swear it's nothing against Revolution, it's just they were the main brand I shopped from before I started doing YouTube and things like that, so I have a lot of their products and they tend to be the ones that are the oldest in my collection. This is the loose baking powder in the shade Translucent. This is a lot of product. I'll put it on its side so you can kind of see. I've used about this much of it. This is a lot of powder for anyone to get through, and I don't think I'm going to finish this up, I'm being honest. But it is a really good powder. I used it in a video at the end of last year and really liked it. So I just want to reach for it a bit more and give it a bit more use before it goes out of date. But I doubt I'll finish it up. You could buy one of these and it'll last you about 3 years probably. For blush, I've chosen the MUA Blushed Matte Blush Powder in the shade Rose Tea. I just think that this is a shade I will wear most regularly. I think I can get some decent use out of this. I do have a lot of similar shades to this in my collection, so I went for one of the shades that looks like this, and this is the one I chose. Also, it has like a flower embossing, I think you can see that, so I'll be able to track my progress a little bit more as the embossing sort of wears off, so I quite like that. This is actually probably one of my favourite blushes in my collection. I just think it's such a nice colour on me. It's also not too pigmented, so it gives a nice flush of colour, which is what I like in a blush. So overall, this is probably one of my favourite blushes, and I really want to test out more colours from their range. For bronzer, another Revolution product. I'm sorry, Revolution. It's not an insult, I promise. This is the Ultrasculpt and Contour Kit in the shade Ultra Fair CO1. It does come with a highlight and a blush. The highlight is not my favourite. I don't think it really does much. It's fine. It's fine. The blush used to be the only blush I owned. It's got a bit of a glow to it, which is quite nice because I don't tend to buy glowy blushes. But really, I'm picking it for the bronzer. I have had this product before. It used to be the only bronzer I owned. It used to be the only blush I owned. It's probably also the only highlighter I owned. And I completely used up the bronzer. So I know it's possible for me, myself, to hit pan on this because I've done it before. So I just kind of want to use this up to get it out of my collection. It's been here the longest. It deserves a bit more use and a bit more love. Also, I'm not focusing on using up the blush or the highlight, but as they're kind of in the palette with the bronzer, they'll probably get a little bit of use. In fact, I might just put a little bit of the blush on now, just over what I've already got on. I'm very excited to finish this up. It's been in my collection for so long. Just needs to go, really. But I do love it. It's such a good product, and I'm pretty sure it's only £3.50. For highlight, I've set myself a challenge and picked the Soph Revolution palette. This is her original palette. I do also have one of her highlight duos, but I want to use this up a fair amount before I start digging into that one because this one will just go to waste otherwise. 5 of the shades in here work for me. It is these 3 at the top and these 2 at the bottom work really well for me. I want to try and use the other 3 shades on my eyes a bit throughout the next 3 months, but realistically I want to hit pan on hopefully at least 2 of these. These 2 have fairly big dents in them, so I'm hoping I can get some pan on those. I think for today I'm going to take a mixture of the gold and the white. Beautiful. I genuinely love this. I've had it for so long, and like I said, there's some hefty dents in here already. I just want to use it up a fair bit more. Okay, let's zoom you in a little bit and have a look at the eyes. This isn't going to be a tutorial, but you can zoom in a little bit and have a better look. For eye primer, I have picked the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is just a small one, and I think I could use it up fairly quickly. I've not worn this for a long period of time, so I don't know how well it actually does at keeping eyeshadow on, so hopefully I can work that out over the next 3 months. But really, I've just picked it because it's a small amount, and it should be quite easy to pan. And the palette I've chosen to work on for the next 3 months is this one here. It is the Revolution X Tammy Tropical Paradise palette. It looks like this. Again, this is just one of the oldest palettes I have in my collection. Also, it has quite a few options for everyday shades, which is really helpful, as it means I don't have to do something out there every time I use it. Even though it does have pinks, which for me is everyday, it has some pops of colour down in this corner as well, so I can go a bit more colourful if I want, and I like that it gives me those options. So I'm just going to do a quick look using this palette. I think I might stick to the pinks and purples a little bit because those are the colours I love. Let's give it a go. I can't tell you names because I lost the name sheet. a long time ago. Also, the mirror is a mess. I don't really use the mirrors in my palettes anymore, so that's fine. Okay, there we go. That is the finished look on the eyes. Hopefully you could kind of see what I was doing. I used this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, and a little bit of this shade. Hopefully you could see that. It's still performing quite well, it's still working well, it's still blending quite well. I will admit it's not working as well as some of my other palettes, but that could be its age, or it could just be that it's an old palette and therefore the formula wasn't as good even back then. But either way, I've got a good look out of it. I like it. Let's carry on. For brows, I've included a brow gel. This is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Avocado Mascara in the shade Ash Brown. This is quite nice. It doesn't really do much to stick your brows in place. It kind of just tints them, which is fine because I'm aware of it, but if you are buying this expecting it to like glue your brows down, it's not going to do that. There we go, it's quite nice. It's quite a liquidy formula. I prefer the Benefit Gimme Brow to this, but I don't want to use that one up because I want to keep it. But yeah, this one's fine. It does its job and it's quite cheap. For brow pencil, I picked the Collection Incredibrow Brow Definer in Blonde. This is like a crayon and it wears down so easily and so quickly that you kind of can't get a defined point with it. So it's not my favourite brow product, but if I just want a quick brow and I'm not too bothered about how well defined it is, kind of, I can just use this. It is very pigmented and I do think it works well. It's just not going to give you that like super defined look. Also, the reason I put this in here is I think it will wear down fairly quickly and I can get through it fairly quickly. There we go. They're not too bad. They're not as defined as I would do them if I was like, you know, getting dressed up to go out or anything like that. I would probably use a different product. But for a quick everyday brow, this works fine. And there's not that much product left in it, even now. I think that will wear down fairly quickly and I should be able to finish it up. I'm going to do my setting spray now before my lashes and things like that. I've picked the MUA Pro Base Mattifying Fixing Spray. The reason I've put a setting spray in here is because I have a fair amount of them and I'm not using them because I'm just not going out and I'm not wearing my makeup for a long period of time. But I should really stay in the habit of wearing a setting spray and I should start using them up. So this one's going first. I will say I really don't like the smell of this one, so it's going to be a struggle to use it up, but it's a good enough setting spray. I use it to wet my shimmer shade today so it works fine. Just not a big fan of the smell. I have included a liquid liner in this. This is the NYX Epic Ink Liner in black. I just want to use up some of my liquid liners, and this one's the first to go. I don't know if this is already on its way out anyway, just because it leaks a bit more, it bleeds a bit more, it's just not performing as well as it used to. So I kind of want to just get it used up and out of my collection. I'm just going to do a line along my lash line today. I'm not really going to do a wing. I don't think this look needs it. There we go. That's all I really wanted from it. It is a good liner. It's very black. It's waterproof. It works well. It has a brush tip applicator, which is really, really good at doing great wings and things like that. I just want to get it used up and out of my collection. Nothing personal. For lashes, I've picked one of my favourite mascaras, but it's a Primark mascara, so it's really, really difficult to sort of link it in the description box of my videos. So I kind of want to use it up, but I also kind of don't because I love it. It is a natural bristle brush. I just love this mascara. I think it separates my lashes really nicely. I think it gives them a little bit of length, not loads, but a little bit. It's just really nice. I really enjoy it. So I feel like I can reach for this off YouTube far more often. I tend to do that anyway. I absolutely love it. Okay, I've zoomed you back out a little bit to do lip. I do have 3 lip products in my project pan. I have the Anastasia matte lipstick in Spice, which is a nude shade. It's very matte though. There's that one there. Don't think I'll be reaching for that one today. The second option is the Beauty Bay matte lipstick in the shade Juice. This is a red. There it is. Very bright, very pretty. Very good for the Christmas season. I did wear it over Christmas. And finally, I have the number 7 Stay Perfect lipstick in the shade Classic Rose. This is probably going to be the one I reach for today. It is a pinky nude sort of shade. And I think with these 3 colours, I've just sort of got my bases covered if I need a pink, a brown or a red. There we go. I think it's quite a nice pink. This is probably the oldest lipstick I have in my collection. My nan bought this for me when I first started doing makeup, so I do really love it and I do cherish it, but it needs to be used up. The reason why I've picked 3 bullet lipsticks is because I reach for my liquid lipsticks far more regularly than my bullet lipsticks anyway, so I'm going to try and force myself to use up some of my bullet lipsticks, and hopefully I can fall back in love with bullet lipsticks. This is a really, really nice shade. It doesn't 100% match the eyes, but that's pretty standard here. There we go. That is a full face of my Project Pan makeup. I hope you liked it. I look really quite nice. I know I say that pretty much every video, but I'm liking my base looks really good. The highlight looks amazing. My eyes look nice. The lip colour is really pretty. I'm overall just really happy with how I look, and I'm happy with how these products work together. If you like this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free and puts a giant smile on my face. Let me know what you think of this look down below. Let me know what products you might try and pan this year. Let me know what you think of my project pan. I will leave a link to my starting project pan video in the description, so if you're interested in following along and giving me some support, that would be really, really helpful, and I really appreciate it. But other than that, I'll let you go. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.